Okay, so on our back, and let's just get some pelvic tilting going. So we're thinking hands on the pelvis and we're rolling through, so just tilting forwards, rolling, arching the back, little gap between the back and the floor, and then tucking the back, flattening, tucking the tummy, and then rolling forwards, arching, and rolling and tucking. So just getting that nice movement through the pelvis on this miserable evening. Lovely.
Getting miserable in the UK.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. And then bringing the feet together, knees stuck together, arms out to the side, and we're just rolling. Getting some nice rotation through the back. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay, back to the middle. Feet a little bit apart, knees a little bit apart, hands on the mat, and we're going to start with some bridging this evening. So we're going to squeeze the bum, lifting up, getting that nice straight line in the middle, and then down and controlling that landing up, squeeze the bum, keeping an eye on our nice control through our legs and our hips, and down nice and controlled. So just nice and gentle, easing into it. Thinking about nearly rolling each level of our back up off the floor, and then as we place back down on the mat, thinking about each level of the spine coming down to the floor before we let the bum down. So nearly breaking this movement down a little bit, rolling down through the back, squeeze the bum, rolling up, and controlling that breathing the whole way through. And then let's add some arms in, so keeping the same pattern with the legs, over the head, lift the arms as we lift the bum. Nice big stretch at the top, and then down and drop the bum. Up and reach, down and drop. Up and reach, down and drop. Lovely. Getting that nice stretch through the upper back and the shoulders while we're working those glutes. Lovely. And then back down nice and controlled. Arms by our side again, keeping one knee still, dropping one knee out to the side, opening up through the hip, back to the middle, and then dropping the other knee down and back. So we're just alternating that rotation through the hip, warming up those hips, thinking about where our pelvis is while we're in this position. So we're a little bit of a tucked tummy, keeping that nice flat back while we drop, and not allowed to wobble that leg that's not moving. Into tabletop, same thing, dropping one hip out, back to tabletop, and out and back. So we're really trying to focus. You're nearly focusing more on the leg that's not moving. Try and think about keeping that as steady as you can. Again, if you need to keep feet on the floor, that's fine. Let's go for arms, opposite arm with opposite leg out to the side. Lovely. Keep going. Let's add some coordination, so all four together. Middle, opposites with opposites, opposite with opposite. Keep that control the whole way through. Keep that little bit of a tucked tummy, so we're working through that tummy all the time to keep that nice tabletop position. Sorry, there was me forgetting to do the little doubles while I focused on my tummy. So that's when it gets a little bit trickier. Opposite with opposite, all four, and then opposite with opposite. Let's go for one more round. Last one. And rest. Bring the knees into the tummy. Have a little stretch, have a little roll. Nice work. Okay. And bringing the legs back down to the floor. Nice and slowly. Okay, lovely. So let's go for some leg raises. So we're going to straighten the leg, lift up, lower, and then back to the mat. So straight leg, lift to the same height as the other leg, lower with keeping the leg straight, and then back on the mat. So off we go. Up, lower, and down. Straight, up, lower, and down. Keep that pelvis in that nice neutral. You can point the toes, making it look nice and pretty if you like, but keeping the knee nice and straight, so we're engaging that thigh muscle, their quads, the whole way through. Nice purposeful movement, so straight first, then lift, all the way down and back to the mat. Lovely. Very nice. Lovely stuff. Let's go two more. One more each side. One. And last one. And rest. Well done. Okay, so this time we're going to straighten both legs. Okay, if you need a little bit of support through the lower back, you can pop your hands in under your pelvis. Just going to give that little bit more support to the back. From here, we're going to do a modified version of that. So we're going to come into a straight leg raise, just bringing that leg up to like maybe 45 degrees, but keeping it straight the whole way through, and then all the way down. So straight leg raise up and down. So just go to the point that you feel that kind of tightness through the hamstring. Keep that leg straight the whole way through. If anyone finds this too hard, just go back to what we were doing with the bent knee and then lifting from there. But our kind of next progression is to go straight into those leg lifts. Keep that nice straight leg the whole way through. Getting some nice quads activation here. And lovely. Tummy's working again. We're trying to help keep that nice stability through the back with the tummy muscles. Lovely working. Keep breathing. Not allowed to hold our breath. Keep the legs straight the whole way through. Let's go two more each side. One, two, last two, three, and four. Well done. Bend the knees. Bring the knees into the tummy and have a little stretch. Well done. Nice work, everyone. Perfect. Lovely. So from here, just moving into that tabletop. Again, options here are to start from the floor, but I think we should be probably able to go from tabletop, most of us. Tabletop, hands either side of the head. We're going to drop one heel, rotate towards the opposite knee, head back down, up to tabletop, and twist, and back. Twist, and down. So again, if you want to work harder, you can go straight into the straight leg version here. Same thing, but we're just straightening that leg out nice and straight the whole way. We're not letting it down to the floor, but down as low as you can. Or heel taps. Or if we want an easier version, we're bringing one knee in, elbow up to meet each other. Okay, so that's an option. Or going from tabletop, keep working. I'm going to do a few more. Keep breathing. Tummy is working hard. Keep that back nice and supported. Let's go 2 more each side. Nearly there. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 4 and rest. Have a breather. Grab a drink if you need to. Have a little rest. Lovely. Okay, coming back down. Lovely. So we're going to come back to the glutes, give tummy a little rest. Okay, so hands on the mat, lifting up through the bum. We're coming up onto our tiptoes. And then from here, we're going to come out with the knees, opening up through the hips, back to the middle, out and middle. We're going to do a few of these. Keep those heels lifted. Keep breathing. Keep that nice solid bridge, so don't let the bum drop down. Good. Keep that nice control through the hips the whole way through. Lovely. Then we're going to hold that position with the knees out, heels up, and then we're going to pulse. We're going to do 6 pulses. Squeeze the glutes, pulse up to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring the knees together, heels down, bum down. Nice. Okay. We're going to do that again. Same thing again. Up with the bum, up on the tiptoes, out and in. So we're going to go a few out and in. Hands up to the ceiling if you want to work a little bit harder in terms of that stability. Keep that balance, so if you're wobbling around, pop the hands back down. Glutes are squeezed. Keep those heels raised. Don't let the bum drop down. And we're going to hold it out in the open position and pulse. Squeeze the bum. 1, 2, aiming for hips up to the ceiling. 3, 4, 5, 6, and down. Nice. Have a little breather. Well done, everyone. Okay, we're going to walk the feet out slightly in front. Going to get those hamstrings working a little bit more. We're going to go hands on the mat for this to start with. Lifting through the bum, holding that position. One leg out, back to the mat, other leg out, and back, and down. So we're getting a little rest in between. Try and keep those feet out as far as you're able. If you're cramping up through the hamstrings, you can walk them a little bit closer, but try and see if you can keep the feet out nice and wide each time. If you're finding it easy, you don't need to have the little rest in between. You can just keep straightening until you have the need to have a little rest. Keep that pelvis level, so we're not allowed to dip down on one side. Try not to dip down, keep that pelvis in line as we lift the other side. Good. Working those glutes, working the hamstrings, keeping that nice control. Well done. Let's go 2 more each side. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rest. Well done. Rolling the knees from side to side, just having a little stretch after that. Good stuff. Lovely, well done. Okay, so let's come back up to sitting. Okay, so from here, we're going to be leaning on our elbows, our forearms. So leaning back on the forearms. Again, have a little feel of where the pelvis is. So tucking the tummy, rolling, tucking and rolling. And then holding in that kind of middle position. We're going to lift the legs up to tabletop from here. And then holding that nice tabletop shape, we're going to drop the knees to one side, back to the middle and to the other side. So getting that little bit of rotation, getting those oblique muscles working. Now I want you to think about what the legs are doing. So a little bit of a gap between the knees and the hip and the feet. Keep the gap the whole way through. So knees further away from you is going to be a little bit harder. Closer is going to be easier. And if you feel like your back is a bit sore, maybe bring the knees a little bit closer to you. It shouldn't be hurting your back. And breathe. Not allowed to hold the breath here. So nice, steady breaths the whole way through. See, can you drop a little bit further each time? Lovely, let's go for 2 more. 1 and 2 and rest. Have a seat, have a little rest, stretching out through the hips if you like. Have a little breather, grab a little drink if you need one. Well done, everyone. Okay, we're going to go 1 more in that position. So we're going to turn that into some little circles. So same thing again, same position. Back to our tabletop, and then we're drawing our little circles with our knees. So thinking about dropping the knees down, coming around in a little circle, and back to the middle, and then swap directions. So we're alternating circles. Try and keep that nice position with the feet and the knees with a gap in between them. Again, the bigger your circles, the harder it's going to be. The smaller the circles, the easier. Keep it up, well done. Nice. Keep breathing. Keeping that nice control all the way through. Lovely. See, can you make those circles a little bit bigger for the last few? Lovely. Let's go 1 more each side. 1. And last one. 2. And rest. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's swing over onto our tummy. Over onto the tummy. Okay, so lying on our tummy. Hands under the shoulders. And just coming into some nice stretching to start with. So pushing up through that lower back, feeling any bit of stiffness in the lower back today, and then coming down nice and controlled, and then pushing up. And each time you come up, we're just seeing, can we ease into that movement a little bit. Try and keep the shoulders away from the ears here. And we're thinking about nice and strong through the arms, pushing through the arms. Lovely, let's go for 2 more. 1 and 2 and down. Have a little rest. So bringing the hands in front of the forehead and resting your forehead on the hands. And from here we're going to come into some leg kicks. Okay, so we're going to come straight leg first of all, lifting that leg straight off the mat and then back down, and we're going to swap sides. So lifting straight up, using the glutes and the hamstrings here, keeping that leg straight. Try and stay nice and relaxed through the upper body. Lovely, keep it up. Let's add in a little bit here. So we're going to bring in a little bend. So I'm thinking I'm going to bend the knee, lift to the ceiling, straighten my leg, and then lower. So bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, and lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Lovely. And we're alternating. Keep that nice control. Lovely. Bend, lift, straighten, and down. Bend, lift, straighten, and down. Lovely. Let's go 1 more each side. Lovely. Have a little rest. A little wiggle. We're going to bring the arms out to the side like a W here. So we're actually going to go into a little bit of a twist here. So I'm going to take one leg, I'm going to bend it. I'm going to reach back behind me. I don't have much space. I'm going to see how far I can get my other leg behind me to the floor. And then we're going to come back to the middle and go the opposite way. So I'm going to reach back, see how much I can reach. Can I reach the floor? How far away am I? Getting a little twist in that lower back. And then back to the mat. And the opposite direction. I'm being blocked by the couch. So again, we're thinking reaching that leg behind, twisting back to the mat, reaching the other side, twist, and back. So we're not going to force it, we're just going to the point that we feel that rotation. A little stretch. Lovely. 1 more each side. Lovely, well done. And then coming up onto hands and knees after you're finished that one. And while we're here, we're just going to sink into that nice little stretch. Have a little breather. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to come into some front planks here. So our options for our front plank: on full plank on our knees, or sorry, long arm plank on our knees, long arm plank on our feet, or if the hands aren't, if the wrists aren't feeling too good today, you can come down onto the forearm, elbows for both of those. I'm going to go for full arm plank. In each position we're thinking we want to be in that nice straight line so my bum isn't in the air, I'm not hanging out through my back, I'm in the middle. Okay, so off we go. We're going to just hold to start with. I'm going to count because I'm using my phone, so we'll do roughly 10 seconds to start with just to warm up. So whichever position, kneeling versus full, off we go. And hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Have a little rest. Okay, we're going to turn that into a little bit of movement. Okay, so that's going to look like either from knees or full plank. We're going to tap the shoulders. So tap, tap, tap. Now, I'm going to try not to move my body as much as I can. So I'm going to keep nice and still in the middle. Squeeze my glutes, squeeze my tummy. We can do that from full plank position or low plank. So off we go when we're ready. 3, 2, 1, and up we go, and tapping. Nice. Keep that nice control through the middle. Don't be afraid to go onto the knees if you're not feeling it on the full plank. Squeezing those glutes, keeping you nice and steady. Keep breathing. If you're finding it hard, just go hold the plank instead. Nearly there. Let's go for 4 more taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. Have a break. Sit back into a nice little stretch. And have a breather. Okay, well done. Have a little rest for the wrists, have a little stretch, some little circles. And we've one more exercise in our little plank series. Okay. So next one is harder to modify from the knees. I'm going to show 2 options. One, our full version is going to be in a full plank. We're going to do our slow mountain climbers. So we're coming up, hold, bringing one knee up, back to our full plank, other knee up and back. Slower the better for those, as slow as you can. Our kneeling version is going to just be leg lift. So we're lifting one leg up and down, other leg up and down. Trying to stabilize through the body as we lift the leg. You can do that from the forearms as well if you prefer. Okay, last one of the planks. Are we ready? Off we go. So whichever version you want to do, nice plank position first, and then off we go nice and slowly with each exercise, regardless of which one you're doing. Slow it down. And breathe. Keep the solid plank. If you're struggling with the plank, drop to the knees and we're leg lifting. Keep it solid in the middle. Tummy on, glutes on. Push through the arms, nice and strong through the shoulders. Let's go for 2 more each side. 1, 2, nearly there. 3, 4, and rest. Well done everyone. Sit back, fully open up through the knees, sitting right back onto the heels. Head and shoulders down to the ground. Have a little breather. And coming back up. Okay, Okay, so while we're on our hands and knees, we're just going to go into some nice little cat camels. So tucking the bum, tucking the chin, squeezing the shoulder blades, arching the back, looking out in front, and the opposite. So rolling, tucking in, arching, and extending. Lovely, looks good. Let's go for 2 more. Nice work. Okay, so bringing it up into a high kneeling position. Okay, giving the wrists a little rest. So if you need a little cushion here for the knees, you can, if your mat isn't very thick. Excuse me. Okay, so before we come into this exercise, we're going to think about what we're doing. So glutes are switched on, tummy is switched on, arms are out in front for a little bit of balance, and then I'm thinking about leaning back towards my knees, or towards my heels. In the lean, I'm in a nice straight line, so I'm not extending through my back. Okay, I shouldn't feel this in my back, it should be my legs working. So I'm coming back, tummy is switched on, keeping my back supported, squeeze the glutes to come back up to that kneeling position. So back and reach. If this isn't comfortable for anyone, what you can go for is coming down to the heels and then squeeze the bum to come up. Down and up, so that's another option. Otherwise we're leaning and squeeze, and we're trying to stay in a straight line coming back up as well. So it's easy to come up by just bending forwards and kind of rolling up. I want you to try and stay in a straight line the whole way up. See how I'm not actually moving through my body. Lovely, let's go 2 more. 1. And last one. 2. And have a little rest. Shake it out, hips from side to side. We're going to stay here. A few more to do in this position. Okay, so this one again, but we're going to add a little twist. Okay, so we're coming into our lean, hold, open up with a bit of rotation, back to the middle, open up, middle, and come back to the middle. So don't go as far with the lean this time, because you're going to have to hold it. So holding, rotate, middle, out, middle, and back. So remember, try and keep that straight line as you're coming back. Even though you're going to be tired, it's tempting to just reach forwards to come back up. Try and keep it straight. Reach and come back up using those legs. We're working hard through those quads. Lovely, let's go for 2 more. Nearly there. Last 2. Hold, rotate, middle, rotate, middle, and back up. Even if you just do a little mini one on the last one, don't need to go too far with the lean. Out, middle, and back. Well done. Whew. Okay, we're going to make our way up into standing after that. Shaking the legs out. Having a little stretch. Give those legs a little shake.
It's tough after all the squats yesterday.
Perfect. Have a little drink. Okay. So I'm going to move my mat just so I'm a bit steadier. We're going to do a little bit of lunging. So getting those glutes and quads working even harder. Okay, so we're going to start off with our stationary lunge. So nice wide stance. I'm going to stand sideways. Nice wide stance. You can pop the hands on the hips. You can hold on to the wall for a little bit of balance. Just make sure that your feet are kind of wide enough apart, so hip width apart. Otherwise, if you're standing on a tightrope, you're just going to be falling over. Nice wide stance, both directions. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to bring my back knee down to the floor. So right down, my body shouldn't move forwards, it should just be moving down. I'm kind of going to hover just above the ground, down, and squeeze to come up. Squeezing those glutes. My knee stays tracking over my toes, so I'm not wobbling through that front knee. Nice and controlled with these lunges. If you're wobbling a lot, maybe you need to just spread the feet a little bit apart in terms of sideways. Tummy is working to keep me balanced here as well, so nice and switched on through the tummy. Squeeze the glutes to come up. Try and focus on dropping straight down instead of coming forwards. Lovely. Let's go for 2 more. 1. And last one. 2. And step it out. Shake out the legs. Have a little breather. Perfect. Okay. So swap legs. Other leg in front this time. Again, your setup is important here. Otherwise you're just going to be wobbling all over the place. So again, nice wide stance, but also want to keep a nice gap between my feet, kind of hip width apart. And then when I'm ready, dropping that back knee down towards the floor and squeeze at the top. So I'm just moving down instead of forwards. And keeping that front knee nice and steady, so I'm not wobbling too much through the front knee. My glutes are really helping me out here, so I'm squeezing those glutes to come back up to the top. And squeeze. Tummy on for balance. Nice, nearly there. Keep that nice control. 2 more. 1. And last one. 2. And step it out. Well done, shake it out. Lovely. Okay, well done everyone. So we're going to make it a little bit more balance challenging. Cerny's favourite exercise. Okay, so we're bringing a bit of movement into that. So one leg is our balancing leg. We're going to step out into our lunge backwards. So we're stepping back, dropping down. From here I'm coming back onto one leg, keeping that leg off the ground, bringing my knee up to bend. Okay, so sticking to one leg, step back, lunge, up and lift. Ooh. So you might want the finger on the wall here to start with until you get the hang of it. So one leg is balancing the whole way through. And up. Step back, lunge, push up, lift the leg. Step back, lunge, up and lift. Lovely, squeezing those glutes on the side that's balancing. Slow it down a little bit. Not going to rush this one. Keeping that control. Lovely. If you lose your balance, reset, go again. Let's go for 2 more. 1. Ooh. And last one. And rest. Getting a bit tired at the end there. Well done. Okay, on to the other side. Nearly there. So try and remember which side you're balancing with. And we're going to go for the other leg this time. Okay, so again, get your balance. Hold the wall to start with if you like, just for feeling out how it's feeling. And then when you're ready, stepping back, down, and lift. And back, down, and lift. Squeezing that glute on the side that we're hinging on. Keep it nice and controlled. Each step of the way, keep the balance. Tummy on, glutes on. Breathe. Focus. Definitely concentration is needed for this one. Keeping that balance the whole way through. Lovely. Step back, down, and lift. Working hard here. Nearly there. Step back, down, and lift. 2 more. Last one. Keep that control. And lift. Well done. Step it out. Getting better, Sani?
Oh, not really.
Well done, everyone. Okay, let's make our way back to the floor. So making our way back down, grab your pillow for behind your head. Popping some layers on if you think you might get cold. And making our way into a nice comfortable position, and we're just taking it down a notch after that. So well done. Hard to get motivated on a rainy day like today. Okay, so hand on the chest, hand on the tummy, and breathing in through the nose, feel the tummy rise. And out through the nose, tummy drops. And each time you breathe out, just trying to let the body sink further into the floor. And each time you breathe out, just taking a little pause before you breathe back in again. And just slowly letting the hands come back down to your side when you're ready. Just letting the legs go floppy. Letting go through the hips and the back and the neck and the shoulders. And just letting the head go nice and heavy. Letting the arms go nice and floppy. And just bringing one knee into the tummy and the other knee in. And just rolling from side to side. And just opening up through the knees. Nice little stretch through the hips. And then making our way up nice and slowly. When you're ready. Well done, everyone.